of keeping the graph in order, minimizing overlapping wires that connect different nodes. So I highly recommend being clean and tidy. These are the different types of nodes. We have inputs in cyan, outputs in yellowish, and operations, so the different type of utility or geometry algorithms in orange. So starting from the very left, so maybe I'll assume that we know a little bit of Dynamo, so I won't explain too much in details what the different nodes do, but we can use a code block, for example, to define a constant parameter that we can then call from any location within the graph by using another code block, and we decrease drastically the number of wires around, and that's pretty great. So here are the different inputs that we described earlier. We have the constants, area, and aspect ratio for each different room. And then we have this chain boolean, so this categorical input, whether it's 0, 1, or true or false, whether it tells the computer whether or not a certain region can be chained to the previous one, or use this parameter to find the host region. And then we have the dimension on one side, and then the location of the region on the host geometry. And let me turn on. Okay, so we can see the numbers, I think, of the different regions. And so for each region, we have a set of inputs, and we can see that if we change one parameter, so this is number, this is also, I think this is the wrong file. But anyways, these should be ordered in numbers. This should be number 3. And we can see another thing updated, but the region number 3 should have gotten either bigger or smaller. And you can see how we can start controlling that shape with this input, control also its position, and the system is pretty responsive and updates pretty quickly. One thing I forgot to mention is that we're visualizing also the original arrangement on the left. And here on the right, we have the adjusted arrangement. So it is pretty useful also for debugging purposes and making sure that everything is always working in the expected manner. And like to iterate through this process, the system is actually quite simple. That I had to do a lot of sketches about this. Like when things were not working, I was taking this step and then solving those overlaps by myself, and then checking if the computer was doing the same. And in order to aid that process, I was also outputting the found expansion edges. So you can see that this, at some point, this purple rectangle over here expanded in this direction. We found the bottom edge being the expansion edge. So for each of them, I'm visualizing those expansion edges. Something that I'm pretty happy about is this hack to control the thickness of lines within Dynamo. Something that is currently not supported, the control of graphics and stuff like that. So we created a small utility algorithm. This can be considered a utility algorithm that takes in any kind of geometry that is a polygon or a polycurve or a curve, and then depending on the desired preview line weight, we can change how those look and feel. The secret is a lot of offsetting curves, one next to each other. So nothing special. Okay, so maybe we can see this says should be number 2, and you can see how changing. Oops, didn't change much. Nope. Oh, something's happened. Oh yes, then we have also this true chain Boolean toggle. Okay, so probably should have changed it more. But anyways, this is the first demo. I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit quick as we're running a little bit out of time, but please keep your question at the end. I'll make sure to find a few minutes, 10 minutes or so at the end to walk through some